Okay, so welcome back to your tutorials with Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud. So first of all, we just need to create a new document. So go to Create and we'll just click Web Document again. Now we're going to be creating a icon, so we probably want to have this just a bit larger than we need it, because we can always make it smaller or bigger at a later date. So we'll just go with 600 pixels for now. And you click OK, and then your screen pops up. So the first thing that we need to do is go to our rounded rectangle tool. Now for now I'm just going to choose a nice, we'll just go with a green for this one. As you can see, this is only web colors, so it won't affect us if there's any problems on the internet. So we just create our shape. If you hold shift, it will make it more of a square. But also you can change the amount of roundedness you want on your shape, so you can do that by just clicking the cursor keys. So yeah, so we'll just go with quite a large shape for now. Let go, and then you'll have your shape filled in with colour. Now, so with the shape selected, we just want to go to our gradient section down the side here and just drag your green to the side. Now it's actually going the wrong way of where I want it, so I'm just going to change the angle. 60, I'll go 90. Yeah, that's more like it. So we've got the darker colour at the top and then the lighter colour at the bottom. I'm also going to add a stroke gradient as well, so we're just going to choose a darker one to start off with. Going into a light grey, it might be quite nice. So yeah, as you can see, it's actually going against the other image, so just need to change the angle. And there we go. So yeah, so it goes at the top there. So this is a gradient on our rounded rectangle shape. So what we need to do next is highlight our object, go over to Object, Path and Offset Path. We just maybe want to have -1. If we go to Preview, it should show you that it goes on the outside a little bit, so maybe I just need to do 1 and click OK. So if I move this shape, you'll see that it's actually copied it across. So what we want to do is actually change that shape around. Just make it fit in there a bit tighter. Okay, and then we just want to get rid of the fill from this shape. So by clicking this button, it takes the fill out. So this means that we've got a slightly bigger layer, creating a more 3D effect really, so that's why we've done that. So what we're going to do now is just to add a bit of highlighting to this. So we go back to our shape tool and go Ellipse tool, create a white shape, and we're just going to pop this on the top, just like so. And we're also going to copy and paste. So on a Mac you can do Command and C, and then we want to paste in place. So again on a Mac is Command and F, and that will place that same image on top of itself. So if we click that one, create a white, we now have something that looks a little bit like this, but don't worry, you'll get your picture back. So you click on the rounded rectangle. If you hold shift, it will allow you to click both objects, and then we should have a Pathfinder tool. If you can't see Pathfinder down the right hand side, you need to go Window, Pathfinder, and if it's hiding it will just bring it out. Now you've got different options on the top here. we actually want to use intersect. And as you can see, it's just chopped off that white section that was there and left us with just this curve at the top, which is where our eclipse was. Just want to click on this top section and go over to our opacity button or transparency and just maybe put this to 15, and you can see it's added an extra layer of whiteness to our icon there. Now the next thing we want to do is use our eclipse tool again. This time I'm just going to give it a grey background. We will be taking this off, and just create an image a bit like this. Now we're going to be using the direct selection tool, so this is the white arrow. If you click gently on the top of your anchor point there, you'll see that you have these bits sticking off, and these are actual anchor handles. So if you change that, it'll actually change your image. What we want to do is just push those top bits in. So this makes almost like a tear shape for our object. And again, if you just drag those in too much, it will take that away. So if you just Command and Z a few times, it'll take you back to this. And I'm actually not too happy with the way that sits, so I'm just going to create more of a roundy base there. Yeah, if you accidentally click it and drag it off, don't worry, it's just that you've moved the handles, so you can just easily Command and Z. And we'll just drag this onto our image here. Now if this does come up behind your icon box here, if you go to your layers, you can actually adjust these directly. You can click on it and you can just pull it down. But for those of you that it's working still in front, then that's fine, you don't need to worry about that. So now we've got our image on top, I'm actually going to take this off now. So you can either double click and click white, but for this you can just delete it immediately. So make sure that's selected and just click that, and that takes that stroke away. So that's our white tear shape in front of our icon. Now it doesn't stand out very much at the moment, so we need to click on this, go to Window. No, we don't, we need to go to Effect, and we want to go to Stylize, and then you've got a few different options here. So you can feather it, or you can give it a glow inside. What we're actually going to do is drop shadow. If we keep this to multiply, it keeps it a nice drop shadow. And if you click preview, you can actually see how your image will look. You can change the opacity. So I think 90 should be okay. And again, the offset, that's how far out you want your like blur to go essentially. And again, that will change how much it comes out. You can also change the colour if you wanted to, but for this I'm just going to keep it black. Click OK. And then when you click onto your whiteboard there, you can see that you actually have your image and it actually stands out a little bit. So obviously I've gone for a really simple shape just to get you used to this technique. You could use this method if you're creating icons for your portfolio. You could have your Twitter link, you could have Facebook, LinkedIn, all of them with this kind of method with your colours that suit your website. You can really have some fun with it. The last thing I'm going to quickly do is just add Eclipse tool. Just create two small little circles. If you Alt and hold an object, you can actually duplicate it, which can be quite time saving when you're doing something like this. And I'm just going to highlight both by holding Shift. Go to our transparency bar and just again, just make these 15. So you can just about see them, but it just adds that tiny bit of extra highlighting. Okay, so that's the tutorial for today. Thank you for watching.